Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Ask Dr. Mumbi. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. Really want to thank every single person that supports the channel on Patreon. We do release much more spiritual information on Patreon. Thanks for everyone who has followed us here to Dr. Mumbi Live. Be sure to subscribe. We have moved away from doing the news. I keep getting emails about, different things that are going on, but beloveds, that's done. The matrix is over, and we really shouldn't be giving our energy or our time to that unless it's just like a weather forecast where you want to know what they're doing in your area, in your region, in terms of the experiment, etc., to stay abreast of things. But it's not something that we should even be digesting daily, because all that energy should be given to building our own lives. You can always email me your questions, by the way, and I always answer the ones that have the most the most requests, and one of the ones I get a lot is, how do you know how do you know you're on the wrong path? How do you tell that you're on the right path? How do you tell you're transitioning? And I wanted to kind of do them into all, but I felt it would be a lot, so I'm just going to do each one separately. And I'm going to start with signs that you're on the wrong path. And I think the signs is how we felt before we awakened, where life was just dark and dreary and depressing, where life was so hard and we felt like we were constantly in survival mode, where we would try and launch ideas, we'd try and do things, and it would never work, just because we were spiritually weak, beloveds. We didn't know it then, but we were spiritually weak. So any idea we had, we didn't even have the energy to bring it into fruition, so success was very, very limited. And even though we had all the signs and all the characteristics and we gave everything, especially when we were in Babylon, that success never took us anywhere. We never made anything from Babylon. We never reached, we never escaped like being a wage slave, etc. And we never really had any lasting success. If there was any success, it was short-lived, because that was not where we were supposed to be. We also find that a lot of our relationships were lessons. So they were very, very hard relationships, very intense, but very hard, with a lot of agents. Definitely check out the video I did, Agents versus Allies, where so many of a lot of broken hearts, a lot of manipulation, because we were vibrating so low. So we attracted those kind of people, because even when you don't know who you are, many of the lower vibrational beings know who you are, and they will even be happy and take advantage of you for not knowing that you're a chosen one. And a chosen one is like a mighty tree by a river, by a perpetual river, constantly giving food, constantly giving life. So you found that, so every relationship felt like a lesson. You also suffered a lot of poor health, where you'd get a lot of flus, or, if you're in this situation where your health is just, you're not, you're always coming down with something. And it's almost like your body is weak, because one of the things that happens, beloveds, when you awaken, is you just don't get sick anymore, because you're vibrating so high, you're vibrating at a different level, and everything changes, including your diet. So even what you're eating, etc., changes, and so you literally don't get sick anymore. But if you're on the wrong path, one of the things is everything is a struggle, beloved. Everything that could go wrong literally goes wrong. So you feel like you'll always be in poor health, or you'll have a persistent health issue. Maybe it's an issue with like fibroids in your womb, or maybe it's an issue with asthma or allergies, etc., or your stomach or something. But there'll always be this persistent health issue that you just don't seem to be able to knock. Let me know if this is resonating, beloveds, in the comments below. I'll definitely find you there later. And you'll find that your life is literally like everyone else's. Like, you think like everyone else. You know what I mean? Your concerns and your worries and your, woe is me is all like the way everyone else thinks. Your life just seems, what can I say, normal, when you know that you're not. Because once you awaken, the opposite of that is your life seems like magical, like miraculous, and things move so fast. So when you're on the wrong path, you'll notice that things are moving very slowly, and your life worries and concerns, the things that you kind of preoccupy your mind are just like everyone else's, although you feel you have a higher calling, etc., etc. And you always feel like there's something more, but you just don't know how to attract it, how to connect with it. And it'll usually be a stronghold over your life that was put on you since you were a child, either through like either the religious stronghold that was put on you since you were a child, or education. There's just something which has totally put you in the Babylon system, but there's a major mental handicap that kind of keeps you stuck in, the matrix, and keeps you stuck off your path. And literally the way to get out of that is to go in. And trying to change anything physically, beloveds, is not only disheartening, but it also doesn't work, because we live in a very mental world. What is happening mentally and spiritually behind the scenes is defining here. So if we want to change our lives, if you find yourself in this situation and you want to change your life, the most important thing is to start to change how you think. Start to really counsel yourself, beloveds. You have the power to do that. And with all the information that is available right now, and the global lockdowns, people have time on their hands. Start to break those mental chains so that you can think differently about your life. And as a chosen one, you have so much power that the minute you change your mind, you change your life. The minute you change your mind, beloveds, you change your life. So everything, if you are in this situation right now, everything you should be doing should be to working towards breaking that psychosis, whether it's a religious psychosis, educational psychosis, whatever it is that is blocking you. That should be your concern, your utmost priority. Utmost priority. And once you start changing what you're thinking, how you're feeling, even just, and most of the times it's like you've been fed a lie and you're holding on to that lie so hard that the truth has nowhere to enter. And that lie is mashing up your life. So even by forcing yourself, because, a lot of people who are even suffering from the religious psychosis, you're even made afraid to question things. But once you question things, like the truth will reveal itself for you, and it will make you free. So that's where your attention should be, on really orienting yourself towards just changing what's in here and changing what's in here. Forget about fighting in the outside world to change your life. Change your mind to change your life, beloveds. In a twinkle of your life, in a twinkle of an eye, your life can totally change as a chosen one. Totally take a 360. Totally. But start working on this first. If you want techniques, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and I'll definitely consider doing a video on that in the future. Until next time, tuko pamoja.